Good morning, my lovies. Did you have a good weekend? Morah Lora had such a good weekend. You know what Morah Lora likes to do, right? To go for lots of walks, and that's exactly what I did. I walked and I walked and I walked, and I love walking. This week, we're learning about the solar system. There are many planets, and we live on one planet. Do you know on what planet we live? Earth. We live on Earth. So the sun a hot star, Mercury's hot too, Venus is the brightest planet, and Earth's home to me and you. Mars is the red one, Jupiter's most white, Saturn has those icy rings, and Uranus spins on its side. Neptune's really windy, and Pluto's really small. We wanted to name the planets, and now we name them all. So there are 8 planets, and we live on one planet, Earth. The sun is not a planet, it's a star. The sun is very, very hot, and nobody can go to the sun. People can go to the moon, like people at NASA, astronauts. The astronauts go to the moon to study how to make life better on Earth through science and technology. But they can't go to the sun. The sun is too hot. See? So you can't go to the sun because it's too hot. The sun is not a solid star. And nobody has invented spacecraft that can make it to the sun. But people can go, astronauts can go to the moon. Morah Lora has a piece of paper for you guys. If you want to make an astronaut, you can color the astronaut, cut this, and put your own face through, and you're gonna be the astronaut. Another thing Morah Lora made is you can make a rocket, because that's how they go, right? In a spacecraft to the moon. So you can color. Look, Morah Lora made the rocket. You put in the back, you glue a straw, and then you launch the rocket. Look. Oh my goodness! The rocket disappeared. Wasn't that cool? Well, you can make it. You can make the rocket, then cut it around and put a straw in the back, just like Morah Lora did, you see? Morah Lora taped the straw. You put the straw in, like this. Make sure it's closed on top, because the air can't go on top. And then you blow on the straw, and you launch the rocket. And that's how astronauts go to space, to the moon, to study how to make life better for us here on Earth, right? They go in a rocket. So these are the 2 papers. You can do a project. Look at all the planets that Morah Lora made. Here is the sun, that's the star. Here is the Mercury, the brightest planet. Here is Venus. Actually, Mercury is the most hot, just like the sun. Then it's Venus. Then Earth, that's the planet we live on. Then it's Mars. Mars is red. You see the Mars is red. Then it's Jupiter. Then it's Saturn that spins, has those icy rings. Then it's Uranus that spins on its side. And then Neptune. And the Pluto is really a tiny small planet, right? 8 planets round the sun. Listen as I call each one. Mercury, number 1, closest planet to the sun. Venus, number 2, shining bright just like new. Earth, number 3. Earth is home to you and me, to you and me. Mars, number 4, red and ready to explore. Jupiter, number 5, largest planet, that's no jive. Saturn, number 6, with rings of dust and ice that mix. Uranus, number 7, a planet tidal high in heaven. Neptune, number 8, with one dark spot whose size is great. Those are the 8 planets. Well, Pluto actually, the sun is not a planet. Pluto is, some people say Pluto is also a planet, but it's tiny a planet. This is called Why the Moon Only Glows. This is a story, a little tiny story, that some say God created the moon and the sun the same size, and they argued. And then God decided to do something. So let's listen to the story by Dina Rosenfeld. The author is Dina Rosenfeld. What does the author do? Writes the words. And what does the illustrator do? Draws the pictures. So listen to what happened to the moon. Leah and her brother Dove let out a tired sigh as streaks of orange, red, and pink lit up the evening sky. Their bikes and balls, their games and dolls, they would put back for the day. They nestled on their pillows to watch daylight fade away. What kind of a book is this? A rhyming book. Whose favorite? Morah Lora's. My favorite type of book is a rhyming book. The room grew dark, but soon the moon, a softly glowing ball, cast a beam of hazy light against the bedroom wall. They said Shema, and Leah pulled the blanket to her chin. "Good night," she said to Daddy, and gently tucked them in. "Oh, Daddy," whispered Dove, "could you please tell us why it's so that the sun can shine so brightly, but the moon can only glow?" "There is a story from the Torah," said Daddy, "that tells us why the sun and not the moon became the brightest in the sky. I'll tell you how it happened, and then both of you will know why the sun can shine so brightly, but the moon can only glow." When Hashem began to make the world so many years ago, he first created day and night, then waters high and low. He made the earth and the dry land, the rivers and the seas. He then created flowers, the grass and plants and trees. When the 4th day came along, Hashem put up 2 balls of light so round. A sun and moon, both big and bright, hung high above the ground. The sun was in the glory, glad to shine up there and share the job of giving light with moon and be one of a pair. But the moon was most unhappy. He was quite dissatisfied. "Am I the boss or is the sun? This cannot work," he cried. "Two mighty kings are never asked to share a single crown. One of us should be smaller," he demanded with a frown. So you see, the moon was not happy that he was as big as the sun. He said 2 kings can't wear 1 crown. One of them has to be wearing a crown only. So the moon said, I don't want the sun to be as big as me. I want the sun to be smaller." What do you think happened? What do you think God is going to do? Let's find out. Then all will see the bigger ones, the leader in the sky, and know who's best at lighting up the world, the sun or is it I? See, the moon wanted to be the bigger one. Look, they're the same size. You see that? The sun and the moon are the same size when God created them. But what happened? Who complained? The sun or the moon? The moon complained. He didn't want to be the same size as the sun. Let's find out. A fine idea, Hashem agreed. Moon, I think you're right. One of you should be small and weak with soft reflected light. Now, who would be the bigger one? The moon thought that he knew. I'm more important than the sun. Now I will look bigger too. See, the moon thought that he would be the bigger one with wearing the crown. Is the moon bigger or the sun bigger? Let's find out. Hashem announced, you did not want to share the sky with sun. Well, moon, since you complained, you will have to be the smaller one. So who is going to be smaller now? The moon. The moon began to shrink and fade. His light grew dim and low. He cried, how will I light the mighty sky if I can only glow? See, the moon complained, so God made him small. Please don't feel sad. You have learned your lesson now, Hashem said. So I've created tiny stars to twinkle by your side. They may be little, but they will join you on the blackest night and shine away the darkness with their brilliant spots of light. The moon did not complain or shout, no longer full of pride. He glowed against the black night sky, small but satisfied. See, the moon complained, and that's why he became small. But God said to him, don't worry, you learned your lesson. Now I'm going to give you stars, and that's why there are stars every time there is a moon, right? And that's the Torah story, said Daddy. So now you know why the sun can shine so brightly, but the moon can only glow. Daddy kissed his boy and girl, then softly closed the door. The children lay and thought about the moon a little more, until their eyes grew heavy and their breathing slow and deep, and with moonlight on their faces. They drifted off to sleep. So you see, the moon has the stars all around him, and that's why the sky at night glows, right? The moon glows. I want you to put on your thinking caps, and if you were an astronaut and you could go to the moon, what would you take with you? Think about it. I would love to know what you would take with you. Morah Lora will take with her, I would take with me pictures of my family and my lovies and the Torah. Because Morah Lora loves learning the Torah and reading the Torah. So that's what I would take. I would like to know, what would you take to the moon if you could go to the moon? The earth turns round and round. The earth turns round and round. Once a day, every day, the earth turns round and round. The moon goes round the earth. The moon goes round the earth. Once a month, every month, the moon goes round the earth. The earth goes round the sun. The earth goes round the sun. Once a year, every year, the earth goes round the sun. We have two papers to do. I would like you to help the astronaut get to its place. Here, the astronaut is going to the rocket. Here, the astronaut is going to another little astronaut. Here, the astronaut is going to a rocket and again. So help. I don't want you to rush. It's not a race and it's not a competition. Take your time. Doing it fast is not what makes you smart. Doing it the right way is what makes you smart. Good job. So take your time, please, and follow the lines. Follow the lines. Okay? That's the first paper. The second paper. In each row, there is something that is different. Which star is different? This one with the little thing attached? This star or this star? Which one should I circle? Should I circle this one? Should I circle this one? How about this one? Good job. Circle it. Now the cloud. Which one is different? Should I circle this one? This one? This one? Good job. Let's see at the moon. Which moon is different? Should I circle this one? This one? Good job. Let's see at the planet. Which planet is different? Should I circle this one? Good job, because it's a different color than these two. Very good. And remember, last week we learned a very important lesson about Shavuot, the giving of the Torah. And we learned that there are many rules that we have to follow, right? And one of the most important rules is to listen to your mommies and daddies and treat them like queens and kings. Good job. That's what I want to hear. That you treat your mommies like queens and kings, and that you listen to your mommies and daddies, and that you are kind to everyone around you. I love you.